Breaking news coming in on your screen after Pangong. Now complete disengagement from Gogra Heights. All temporary structures and other allied infrastructure created in the area by both sides have been dismantled and mutually verified. The landform in the area has been restored by both sides to pre-standoff period. India and China agreed on disengagement from Gogra during the 12th round of talks, if you remember. Gaurav Sawant joining us on this live from the newsroom. Gaurav, yet another successive attempt at disengagement now after Gogra Heights. We've now got Pangong, now complete disengagement from Gogra.
You're absolutely right. This had been work in progress. Remember when the 12th round of Corps Commander talks took place at Moldo, at the, where India is actually dominating China on the Moldo Heights, south of Pangong. So that's where the first disengagement had taken place. And subsequently, after multiple rounds of talks, there has been success that's been achieved at Gogra. This was one of the multiple friction points at PP-17 Alpha or Patrol Point 17A. Now, that is where total disengagement has taken place in terms of both the Indian and the Chinese forces going back to their permanent locations. As of now, there will be no patrolling is what sources are telling India today, so that there is no confusion. But now when we talk about some of the other friction points like Hot Spring, for example, or subsequently Depsang, talks in progress about Hot Spring initially. From what army sources tell India today, Depsang predates this entire incursion or transgressions by the Chinese in 2020. So talks about Depsang will be held separately. As of now, the entire focus was about the Chinese coming along the LAC on either side of Pangong. So India's QPQ operations south of Pangong, so subsequent disengagement, which incidentally has then stalled. Now there is forward movement at Gogra. One friction point remains, that is Hot Spring. That is also a point where conversations are happening. From what sources tell India today, in some time there would be forward movement on all friction points, except of course Depsang, which will be dealt with subsequently, perhaps even at a political level.
Gaurav, it does seem that things are now moving a little faster after so many rounds of talks. This time around, it does seem that disengagement on these contentious points is now happening in quick succession. Is it fair to assume that?
Well, there is realization even in the Chinese side that India's resolve is very firm. China in the past did transgress multiple times. China did follow a policy of salami slicing, and it kept moving forward and taking Indian territory inch by inch. Sometimes there was resistance and sometimes there wasn't. This time there was a very strong resistance, and after Galwan in June 2020, the equation changed completely, where we lost 20 of our braves, but they ensured that the Chinese were pushed back, and a very strong message was sent out to China. China has lost lives. They've confirmed 5 lives officially. American and Russian intelligence and reports seem to indicate they've lost anything between 35 to 45 soldiers. After that, there was a considerable hardening of stance on either side, and India adopted the whole of the country approach that relationship with China cannot move forward either economically or diplomatically or in any other field as long as there's tension along the line of actual control. So gradually an attempt is being made, perhaps by both sides, to at least sort out this situation. But do keep in mind that China is strengthening extensively all along Xinjiang and in Tibet, and of course as a reaction India is doing the same. Now if this year passes off peacefully, one thing is very clear: whether it's Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, a little portion in Uttarakhand or in eastern Ladakh, Indian armed forces deployment is extremely strong now and getting stronger. Also Indian Navy is carrying out a patrol in the South China Sea. It's done that before, it's doing that again. So there is a very strong message that's going out to China that India will not accept salami slicing of our territory.
Okay, that also gives us an insight into the situation on ground. India clearly looking for comprehensive de-escalation of the situation here from all friction points, as well as working out of new protocols as well. What does it mean for the way forward now, Gaurav? Assuming that, we do see continued progress on the talks and the remaining points when it comes to access for India, when it comes to the situation on ground and relationships going forward between the two sides. There have been a lot of comparisons that have been drawn up between the LAC and the LOC as well. What does it really mean for the way forward now in terms of relationships?
You know, you cover business and you cover economy very extensively, Abha, and you know that China has been trying to move forward in a way that business relations, they continue irrespective of what's happening at the line of actual control. But India has made that very clear to China, and comprehensively at every level, whether it's at the level of military talks, diplomatic talks, or even at the level of the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who told his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi that for the relationship to move forward, borders have to be peaceful, tranquility has to be maintained at borders. If that is not the case, the relationship cannot move forward. Also, the fact that India has pushed back has in a way given a lot of confidence to several other countries to push back. So you see a stronger response to China virtually everywhere. And that is why in a way, the world is looking at India's response to China. If we are strong, if we fight back, it will in a way strengthen the response against Chinese belligerence. China looks at this as its century. By 2049, it actually wants to dominate the entire world. And this is one strong, perhaps, resistance that comes from India, not just at the borders, but in every other way to ensure that rule-based order, whether it's sea lanes of communication, South China Sea, line of actual control, India is just trying to ensure that China follows rule-based order.
Absolutely. So after Pangong, we're discussing here, breaking news on your screen, disengagement from Gogra Heights. And Gaurav, just if we could, recap for our viewers who've just tuned in, the remaining points of contention now, Depsang or which of the other points will remain in focus after these two have been resolved?
So it's about 800 odd kilometer long line of actual control in Ladakh. If we start from Depsang, the Karakoram is where you have a settled international border, but that's also a point where the Chinese are trying to make inroads. That's incidentally a hot point of contention because China, Pakistan both can attempt jointly to target India. They may, I mean, that's a war game scenario, but when you start from the Karakoram up in the north, keep coming down all the way to Demchok, so there are multiple friction points where the Chinese tried with two divisions to show that they were being extremely aggressive and trying to move forward. India stalled them on Pangong So, both on the north and the south bank of Pangong So. So those points on either side of Pangong So have been sorted out. Depsang remains a bone of contention, but that has remained a bone of contention for a long time now. It predates the current situation. Hot Spring remains a point of contention even at this point. And of course, the CNN Nala, the Charding Ninglung Nala again remains a point of contention, but India is extremely heavily deployed all along the line of actual control. The Chinese, if they thought that they could intimidate us, that clearly has not happened. So Depsang and Hot Spring does remain a point of contention. Multiple other friction points have been sorted out.
Gaurav Samant joining us on the breaking story at this hour. Thanks so much, Gaurav, for taking us through in detail some of those developments there.